I was thrilled to get a phone call from Mike Nepton of the British Heart Foundation back in, I think it was July last year. He was very interested in getting a proposal together for the Chelsea Flower Show 2011 and wondered if I could help them, really. The challenges of Chelsea are absolutely huge. There are lots and lots of hoops to jump through before you're even accepted. So a lot of work goes in on budget, on theming, on drawings, not just perspectives, but also very highly tuned constructional drawings as well. The British Heart Foundation had certain ideas that they wanted me to include in my design. It was important to them that 2011 is actually the 50th anniversary of the British Heart Foundation's work. And the campaign that is celebrating that is called Mending Broken Hearts. I was very inspired not only by Sir Peter Blake's work for the Mending Broken Hearts campaign, but also by a piece by Dr. Patrick Hale, which is part of a photographic competition open to British Heart Foundation scientists. And it really is a really beautiful piece of work which just shows the muscles that surround the heart in a very evocative, beautiful, stunning way. The wonderful thing about Chelsea for me this year is that I've been able to be entirely experimental, which is exciting, but it really does have its challenges. We have red stepping stone cells that glide through the space, leading to a rather large platform to the rear in the same material. A sculptor, Ian Bishop, is making these up for me. They're made from a red translucent acrylic resin, and we're going to light them from within so they will actually glow. We have 600 metres, I think it is, of steel that needs to be bent to particular shapes so that they form the perfect arches for which to walk through. I'm very lucky to have Richard Harwood on board. He is a fantastic steel fabricator and he's forming all of the arches that cover the garden, and what they will do is they will frame views and also provide a pergola structure for the garden user to walk through. It wouldn't be Chelsea without plants. But I've tried quite a new idea, even for myself this year. Because our hard landscaping is providing much of the colour in the garden, I really wanted the plants to kind of create a complete juxtaposition to that. So the plants themselves are going to be very, very green. There's going to be very little flower within the whole planting schemes. I want the planting to look like it's really bursting from the space. So the garden on the horizontal line is going to be taken up to the vertical as well. So the garden will kind of glide through on a horizontal plane and then up and out and towards the clouds. At the heart of the garden there is water. Now without water there is in fact no life, and I thought that was absolutely relevant to the British Heart Foundation and what they wanted to achieve as far as messages were concerned. So we have a marginal wrap of planting, plants that will deal with aquatics and live happily in water. We also have the shady plants, which is comprised of ferns and other kind of shade lovers. But I also wanted to include things like natives to encourage as much wildlife into the space as possible. Hopefully it will be buzzing with bees and butterflies. The challenges of Chelsea are absolutely massive, and that's not least in the build. We have just under 3 weeks to complete our garden, and it's not just any garden, it has to be absolutely at its peak. The plants have to be absolutely perfect to be performing at full tilt. That's before we even start thinking about construction. It's a really condensed build time. Everybody's going to be working extremely hard. And not least that the site itself has challenges. Just bringing materials into the space is difficult in its own right, and everybody else is fighting for that space and that time slot to make sure their gardens get finished on time too.